No G20 member has ever welcomed the presidency like India has when she illuminated hundreds of sites, including UNESCO World Heritage sites across the country on December 1st. Numerous other locations were also decorated with the G20 logo representing Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, or the world is one family. With the motto, One Earth, One Family, One Future, India is prepared to bring the world together as she hosts around 200 G20-related events, including the Marquee Summit in September next year under her year-long presidency. Leaders world over, including the U.S. President Joe Biden, expressed their content and commitment towards addressing the pressing global issues in collaboration with and under the guidance of India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi urged global leaders to unite in the fight against what he referred to as the primary challenges in the present circumstances: climate change, terrorism, and pandemics. Many observers have commented that G20 members are placing their hope in India, for only she is in a position to steer the world out of a multi-pronged crisis. Whether it is India's democratic foundations that have held 1.4 billion people together for decades, her non-imperialistic foreign policy that has won her friends, allies, and trusted people world over, her prudent macroeconomic fundamentals which are keeping her afloat amidst recessionary global trends, or her assertive endeavors to bridge the divide between the global south and the rest of the world, India has positioned herself as a beacon of hope in these testing times. In an increasingly divisive world, where aggressive foreign policy and disagreements have taken the center stage, New Delhi provides an alternate, viable discourse which talks about peace, progress, dialogue, and consensus. Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar urged the global community to work together to achieve the common goals that the group pledged to accomplish during the summit in Bali last month.
As the mother of democracy, India's G20 presidency will be consultative, it will be collaborative, and it will be decisive.
India has an extensive and holistic agenda for its G20 presidency. From the depoliticization of the global supply chains which have affected supply of food and fertilizers, to pushing for sustainable solutions with regard to climate change, from making resources accessible to the most deprived and neglected, to negotiating a consensus between political polar opposites, India will endeavor to achieve to bring more unity to the world. India is increasingly being regarded as a true leader by the world community, for she has not only protected her own population, but has also committed herself to the global good in this rapidly changing geopolitical scene.
There is a lot of crises. There's geopolitics, there is a crisis of global debt, there's a crisis of climate finance, there is a crisis of global supply chain, vast amount of challenges in the world, but I've always maintained that crisis is an opportunity, and this is one of the greatest opportunities we've got because we are putting together the agenda.
The Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's interactions with the Chinese President Xi Jinping during the G20 summit last month was a precursor to what will follow under the Indian G20 presidency. The twin foundations of dialogue and diplomacy will be the motto going forward. The two sides, according to observers, are heading for a thaw following a deterioration in their bilateral ties as a result of the violent skirmish along the LAC in India's eastern Ladakh region in June of 2020, which left many people dead. India, which now stands on the cusp of massive industrialization, has vowed to reduce her carbon footprint significantly in the coming decades. India, which is set to become the world's most populated country, is also ensuring food supplies for others. Experts say that India possesses all the qualities required of a leader. Even if the G-20 policy had not been rotational, many say that India would have deserved the chair in any event. Brand India is set to take center stage, with hopes and expectations of billions around the world.